Hello. Good evening, Chiwempala. Good evening, Zambia. Good evening, world. Elias Munshya here on TVBAKWETU. Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited because today is very late, and so we are going to have a discussion with those that are finding it difficult to sleep. And these are the insomniacs. So if you are an insomniac tonight, here we are, Elias Munshya here. Now, of course, there are several things that have happened. Chiwempala right now is in mourning as well as the entire Chingola. We are mourning the passing of Memory, the comedian also known as Mjomba, Memory Kasweshi, also known as Mjomba. She passed away on Sunday in a motor vehicle accident near Kabwe. May her soul rest in peace. I think she shall be remembered as one of those that put Chingola on the map. She was a comedian, but she really put Chingola on the map. She spread the good message of Chingola to her friends, her peers, and she served on the Comedian Association of Zambia, being one of the founding members and instrumental leaders of the association. I did get to meet her someday, and when I asked her what led her to do comedy, she said that she was a jock, and that is the reason why she decided to do comedy, because she was a jock. And so to Memory, she was a joke that united our people, that made our people laugh. And she was a joke that spread Chingola's message to the rest of the country. She was a joke that brought comedians from all around the country back to the Copper Belt and to Chingola in particular. She was perhaps one of the biggest ambassadors of Chingola in modern times. And so we are very grateful for the life that she gave, the move and the contribution that she did to our town of Chingola. That is the greatest memory that I'm going to have of her. And I hope that each one of us are going to have that little piece of the comedy that she did together with her colleague when they were doing the Chiwempala Live films and when they were doing the Mjomba series. So not only did she star in those Mjomba series, but she also starred in several other shows as well. Memory also inspired quite a good number of young comedians in Chingola, and some of those are Chingola TV Choir, who have also done a tribute song in her memory. And so beyond the Chingola TV Choir, there are several other comedians in Chingola that were looking up to her. And so may her soul rest in peace. Tomorrow on Thursday, Chingola, Chiwempala will be gathering together to pay their last respects and to bury her. So we are hoping that all that goes well. And then tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, the Comedians Association of Zambia are having a show in order to raise some money for her family and for her child. She survived by her son. And so the show will be at Chingola Arts Society, and it's 100 kwacha per person. So we are hoping that those that would be able to make it to Chingola should stay for the comedy show at 100 kwacha per person, done in memory of the memory and done in order to raise some funds for her family and her young son. May her soul rest in peace, and we are very saddened by that death. Next to that, after we've done our remembrance, today we understand that the Zambia police have picked up the former Deputy National Secretary General of the Patriotic Front, Ms. Mumbipiri, who has been transported to Kaoma in order for her to go and help the police with investigations into the passing of Lawrence Banda. That is at least the information that we know at the moment. We have no idea what else she's being held for. And so we are going to wait and receive direction as to what is going on exactly in Kaoma. But of course, anyone who committed a crime and they received state protection over it, it is now time to pay, and they are going to pay. Sadly, crime does not pay, and murder does not pay, and so all those that did it, thinking that they are going to be protected, are going to begin. They are going to begin accounting for their deeds and for their misdeeds. Because really, if you witnessed a murder and you saw Lawrence Banda being killed, then that is a matter of great concern. That is a matter of great concern, and we are hoping that the police are going to continue doing their job until such a time that they that the police will be doing a thorough job until such a time that they can bring everybody who was involved in the passing of Lawrence Banda. And so that is one of the things that is going on there. And so the transportation is there. We understand that Miss Mumbipiri is being driven right now to Kaoma so that she can help police with investigations. And we are hoping that anyone that has information about what happened should do all they can to help the police because of the cases and everything that is going on. Other than that, the passing of memory and then the transportation of Miss Mumbipiri. I'm joined by my friend Jerome Kanika. Jerome, it appears like there is a little bit of noise we are receiving. And so I'm going to give you a few minutes to attend to that, and then we are going to bring you back after that is done. Anyway, so that is what is going on here. I want to see your comments. I want you to see how you are remembering memory, and I also want to see more. I want to see your comments about the what is happening with the transportation of Miss Mumbipiri to Kaoma so that she can help police who are investigating the death of Lawrence Banda. Remember, our fellow citizens, that crime does not pay and nobody should feel like they are above the law. No one is above the law here. Okay. Now, in addition to that, we understand today that the Anti-Corruption Commission handed over 65 million that they had picked from Faith Musonda's house. And so Faith Musonda forfeited those funds and they have been given to the Ministry of Finance. And it's quite substantial amount of money. It's quite substantial. And it being substantial, we understand that that money is going to be directed towards bursaries and scholarships or loans for university students, which is pretty remarkable. Mr. Jerome Kanika, welcome to our program this late evening.
Good evening, Council Munshya. And oh, so we can also see you. So I was worried to say maybe you are moving with the Wamumbipiri to go to Kaoma.
No, but how can I move with her? I'm not part of police. Why would you think like that? Why would I move with her? She's not my friend, and
But
you
Bamunsha
still
mwachifisa video yenu. So if you want us to speculate, na muifisa mweveni. So kulanda tawe maybe vaina Wamumbipiri kuna waponkano.
yeah. So I have to switch off the video because of bandwidth issues. I think I have serious problems with my internet. But no, I am in my flat. I have not gone anywhere. And Mumbipiri, I think if she's on her way, then she's in the capable hands of the Zambia police.
Yeah. Actually, when I first watched the video, which was saying defending the other gentleman, Francis, I was shocked to say, my goodness, how can this person implicate herself in such a way and in such a manner where she was denying on behalf of the other person and admitting on the other hand to say she was there. So she knows the people. Now she need now to finger point those people who were there when those things were happening. I was say, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, so at least that's what is on tape, but we don't know any further information. So we are going to await the police briefing so that we can know exactly what is going on. Anyway, Faith Musonda's money has been given to the university students. They're going to get loans. They're going to be helped. What do you think about that?
You see, it's very much encouraging to see how President Hakainde Hichilema cares for the people of Zambia together with the Vice President Mutare Narumango. I think it's just amazing. If it is in the previous administration, I think they would have not even said we take this money for students. But look, this administration says it's just the money that we are having some challenges with. If we have more money, our plans is to have everyone who's attending tertiary education to be put on a bursary. And they have not done that. The money for faith, they have said this money we are taking is to give students as bursaries, which is something unprecedented, if I can say so. Anyway, bari patali people in Daranda Bamunja.
Yeah, had it been under the PF, what you are saying is that
ngana shilu apanga nganyumba PF ngakuya first kwenda na faith nkulanda nankwe nokumupisha mufizwa nokupenda tawe ali luba kanshi bali mufi twalikuwa president akagondwe something Pamela Gondo. So nankwe faith ngali pia mwanda PF without knowing okwa.
Yeah, but at least here the money has been recovered and it's been given. I'm just hoping that there'll be more money recovered so that we can do more projects with that money. Imagine if there is another 65,000 somewhere. If there is another 65,000 kwacha somewhere, isn't it nice to see that it be brought back to the people? And so I think the law enforcement agencies should continue searching for our money so that we can have it back.
Yeah, I agree with you, Council Munshya. And you see, we need to continue, and the law enforcement the agencies, they need to move in. And moreover, they have not yet touched the big fishes. They are just starting to ponds. If a capon can sponsor 2,000 students, what about a big fish? I'm student, okay, iwe moko na upasa una bazari ya ku university. Fondi ambo kumana pa.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is what we are going to see here. The big fish. Now the big fish is also known as person unknown, and so they are also person unknown. So maybe we are going to see that they are also going to be touched so that they can give us the money, the Zambian people's money. Anyway, we are looking forward to that. Some are saying that the pace has not been quick enough, thinking that we need to have moved a little faster. But I think the process has been has taken this because it's got to be done methodically, and the law is catching up with the former alleged thieves, former leaders, and it's going to they are going to be caught.
I don't know why people they are saying, I don't know why people they are saying that it's so slow, but there are things that need to be put in place. First thing, it was the appointment of the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice need to be appointed, and after that, the Chief Justice need to appoint all his other staffs at his institution. Then from there, the Chief Justice went on and create economic and whatever crime court where all these matters will be looked at. So all this time have happened. When you check the time frame, all these things have happened. It's within 6 months. So there's nothing there's nothing people can say that it's very slow. We don't want to have a situation where someone has been convicted by the Anti-Corruption Commission, then an officer from the Anti-Corruption Commission goes and confesses in the courts of law to say, no, this person can manage this and that. You see, it creates a bad impression on the government. And we need, once the law enforcers catches someone, it's for sure for something they have done. And Munshya, people should just wait. Even the people are talking too much now. They will stop talking very soon.
Yeah, because some of them were thinking that the law is not going to catch up with them, and now it has caught up with them, and so they are having serious issues, and they are now crying barerira barerosha nokuyumvisha luse vanakalimo the government is wrong to get them. I think the fight against corruption started with the people of Zambia, and the people of Zambia are waiting for the police to do their job, basically, and the police are doing their job. The fight against corruption, the fight against theft, even the shooting of criminals and thieves and murderers, all that is over now, and we hope that the police are going to carry out a very thorough job.
Yeah, I think that's very true. But these people, they are, you see, they want to use the tribal tag concerning the fight against corruption and all that. But Munshya, you muni baushi bushe mwali bako.
Yeah, because any person who was stealing, they were not stealing on behalf of any tribe. They were stealing because thieves. That's it. And they should never use tribe as an excuse here. The previous government was pretty tribalistic because it only comprised of northerners and easterners, and so it was just a few of those that were trying to enrich themselves. They were not enriching themselves on behalf of any tribe. No. So when the law is catching up with them, they begin to cry foul, saying that it's tribal. No, this is not a tribal fight. It's a fight against corruption.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And just imagine, how can people say that that's a tribal fight? Well, when stealing, they didn't consider that they belong to this tribe, but instead they just considered the good mansions in Osaka. So if those good mansions are considered in Osaka, the good mansion they should be mentioning to be their tribes, not bale onkuita yo bachitimu basha ningire ndimo bale persecute. There's nothing of persecution here. Why even corruption tabeshire ikatira ba Munshya nabo bawushi ba Munshya babeba waita baba konke but basa konkera iwati yo kweta ababemba kwisa ba Munshya abo abawushi tababekete
Awata tulifaa noko tubepesha tiyo mwaite tebu tapali abareiga tatu bareiga tumlandu wa bubema bareiga taba ngo kanshi mwenga muliba ngo kula ndafia ati you are a thief and you are getting arrested. Do not mwira tubika mwifu mfya bupuba okubika mubonsa ababemba mfya bupuba no kage mweba umeshipeni fye mweba le iba ni mwe ifyo mwale iba mwale lya mweka no kuiba nefya bukule nefya bushitashita teimo mweka nomba lero muyisa mutubepesha ati bonse ababembe mubali iyo mkwai mwaibire mweka.
Yeah, just imagine they are saying no, persecute Babemba. But look, the vice president Mtarina Rumango Babemba. Na then abuche why fingaleta persecute Babemba. Why na what by the katrat mariba. Amwe bantu bakareza owayiba aliba berala ndepya ma tribe bambi na kumishi kutabaya kono kuyata pabo no bachitako kumishi bali fo abarebe peshe mfumo ati yo twingirire mako turangirene ko awo yego kino cyage mfumo kire mona bene abanani kane yabo.
Yeah, I think we need to be very categorical and repeat this idea. No, and true to Zambians' word, the Zambians are the ones who voted in August. They're the ones who removed these thieves from power. So if these thieves are the problem, they better go to the Zambian people, you know? It is the Zambians who removed them first. Before even the Anti-Corruption Commission began investigating them and the police began investigating them, it was the Zambians who started this. Nifwe twatapiri okuchitechi. Oyu mulimo wesufwe na Zambia. Nifwe twavotere. Nifwe twabafumishepo. So kanshi they shouldn't even think that they can get away with confusing us. No. We saw the kind of leadership that they were providing, the kind of theft and corruption that was going on. And so no, they shouldn't use us at all. We are innocent. They are the ones who were stealing, and they are the ones that are going to face the music.
Yeah, I agree with you. If impia bachtarikab bapera ma students kwashara nomba amayanda bakamba omustarikava naye naye bakapanga fefima orphanage yambi bali achinjale panga fene patara maybe yambi twambe nokyachinjale tukapanga amasero so that bambi treba longa mayanda ali ne trepokolo lako.
Yeah, I think the government right now lacks houses for its VIPs, and so maybe we can use them for our permanent secretaries, our directors, and our ministers. Because if my ande fingi twala pokolola fingi if you vale kula nendala mashakwiba imo mwebe na Zambia aba bantu if you vale kula vale bomfiendala mashakwiba. You know, this is very simple. Aba bantu vale bomfiendala mashakwiba. So nomba kanshukuteko na bwambo kupokolola. And I know some people want them to be locked up. No, they'll be locked up. But first of all, Kuchta, the easiest thing between locking up and grabbing their property, the easiest thing is first of all to grab their property. Ero nomba mwachita lock up as you investigate and you have easy legally. It's very easy to legally. Rather than imprisoning people. So nomba kanshi, let's go ahead no upokolo de FP. At least tupokolo de finto. To become permanent secretaries, to become ministers, instead of giving Bosabama housing allowances, kuba pera fiat ichwechi and echo kekele anymore. Ichi and echo bakula nendala mashakuiva.
Yeah, I think that's. I think I concur somehow with you, but yalefaika to put more punishment. Yalene manda bakule mumpya shakuiva. Okuya chija bamasero. Nokubalonga mumpya mwine.
Nomba fima luxury homes ifimo kuti baomvwa.
Kaidi sero mari monon kulala sero kulala bali 30 muri room mufira alala babiri. So olete then are kuna tapana pangira pandela na pangire pongwa sitting room nomba moneni pia dipo.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are asking the government, at least that's Mr. Jerome Kanika. He's asking our resident pharmacist. He's asking and you don't administration or you tell some of these houses if you attend them into jails and prisons.
And barabenya barekula bafire ngaba akulira mayanda bafire bamubika pona nkware ikala papa pene so that at least kafafye taikalamo at least akala ndatawa nalikeremo
as a prison. So the next item, Mr. Kanika here is very, very interesting. So I was discussing some of these things. It's qualifications of doctors. Now, after the protest of the doctors, we got into a very heated discussion about doctor qualifications. Now, it appears like in Zambia, we really don't. I don't know whether we just don't pay attention. I know this is really a by the way thing. It's not like very, very important. Like it's going to life depends on it. It doesn't. But we just need to be clear about it. When we say that this one is a medical doctor, it does not mean that then they hold a doctorate degree. No, a Zambian medical doctor has 2 undergraduate degrees. One is a Bachelor of Medicine and a Bachelor of Surgery. So I don't know how we can explain this so that people at least know. I know this information is not very critical to your life, but it's good to know. But no, those are undergraduate bachelor's degrees. They're not very different from the bachelor's degree that Jerome has.
Yeah, you see, we need to understand very well that currently in Zambia, long time people use that as a justification, but this time we have universities like Copperbelt University that are just offering just one degree, yeah, from first year to 6th year, yeah, and it's called also Bachelor in Medicine and Surgery. Yeah, so what people need to understand very well, that doctor title, it is a professional title given. Does it? It has nothing to do with the qualifications someone have. The qualification, you see, the qualification issue comes in with the level of papers you have, like yourself, you're Dr. Munshya. Then in that way, you have a PhD. So because of your PhD, no wonder you call you Dr. Munshya. The same argument about Munshya, the same argument with the pharmacists actually when I was a president. The group of pharmacists who are the masters, who are doing a master's in clinical pharmacy, they wanted to start calling themselves as doctors. Then I told them to say, how can you do that? No, the university curriculum says a title because doctor. No, you don't have a PhD. the university does not offer a doctorate title to someone without a PhD. Then if you want to be called a doctor using a profession, the profession does not select. It gives everyone in that profession that title. Provided you're a pharmacist, you'll be called a doctor. What? That's a professional title. But if you want to go academic way, you need to have a PhD. I'm telling you, I saw how emotions were flying out instead of people reasoning. So this is the same situation that I've discovered with your post. I followed and I saw how people were too emotional in responding things and claiming and talking things they could not understand proper instead of reasoning. And this is bad for the people of Zambia. We need sometimes not to waste our emotions that are so important on something that does not require us to attach emotion.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's a very heated discussion. I think there is this idea that I don't know where we got it. That the idea that our physicians hold doctorate degrees. They don't. Now,
No,
this is not to mean that no. Our physicians in Zambia do not hold doctorate degrees. They hold
no,
Bachelor of Medicine or Bachelor of
yeah,
Surgery degree,
yes.
which is a very important degree that helps them to serve us.
Mhm.
Now, I do understand that there are some pharmacists also that want to be using the title, the professional title of doctor.
No, we add that, and I think once we add at one of our AGMs, I asked them to say, okay, if you want to use the profession title of a doctor, if you at the AGM the AGM decides to say we'll be called as doctors, there's no problem. Can we vote? And pharmacists voted against to say, no, we don't want to be called a professional doctor. We want to end the doctorate. But what we may want in the near future is to change our curriculum to go into Farm D so that we become more and more marketable with what is happening in the world market in terms of pharmacists. So that's where the issue is heading to now, to say we need to change the curriculum. Those we started, it was supposed to start last year, the other year, 2 years ago, but because developing curriculum, it's all about money. Yeah, and you need schools to stand up together, you get united, and you make money, and yeah, you engage people can develop the curriculum. That has not happened yet.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kanika. Now I need for us to pivot to another topic. Now, this topic is very, very interesting because it's been misunderstood a lot for the past week, and it's the topic of bigamy and polygamy. Now, you are a pente like me, and sometimes if we were pente, we comment before we read. You know that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm in one of the groups where now I had a very serious argument with one of my colleague in one of the groups, and we were now trying to use the Bible and all that to see how we can. So there, you see how the Bible is. I like and I love reading the Bible, and I love what the Bible says. The Bible leaves the decision to you yourself to decide. You see, if you want to misinterpret the scripture, or you may not misinterpret the scripture. It depends with what you yourself want. That's what I've seen in the Bible. So those issues of someone saying that no, the Bible says against the polygamy and what, but I think we started from the days of Abraham, Jacob. I gave examples and all that. So anyway, I don't know. I want to hear from you about the issue of polygamy and bigamy. What is happening?
But
Though,
I think I'm wondering what you are debating, though, Mr. Kanika. So can you enlighten me? What are you debating exactly? Is your debate that polygamy is not in the Bible? Is that what you are saying? Or that polygamy is in?
There are two schools of thought. Some people are saying polygamy is not in the Bible and is not allowed by the Bible, which I'm waiting for the scripture that says that. Then there is also other school that is saying no, we need to have our polygamy way of staying of saying, but we don't know. Maybe you need to educate us more.
No, because this matter is going all over the place that I can't. You begin dealing with one aspect, something else comes up. So I want to narrow down where the issue is, right? So where do you think the issue is, Mr. Kanika?
The issue is on polygamy. The issue is people not wanting to marry more than one wife. But what I don't understand is if the law will be made mandatory for everyone or not. That's what I'm failing to understand, because once the law is made, does not mean that everyone will be required to marry more than one wife or whatever thing.
But Mr. Kanika, in Zambia, polygamy is legal. Zambia is a polygamous nation.
Uko bamunsha nomboko, my God, bamunsha ifwe ba papa besu ba Joshua Banda n'aba tuchita guidance ba Pentecostal chali mbwefi polygamy tatuishibe so shirefo nkulande efyo ba papa abalandire awe.
No. In Zambia, Zambia is a polygamous nation. As a matter of fact, we've got two categories of marriage in Zambia. There is what is known as the civil marriage under Cap 50 of the laws of Zambia, and there are customary marriages. Customary marriages have a presumption. It's known as a presumption of polygamy, and most of the marriages in Zambia are customary marriages. If we are to count our marriages in Zambia, almost 90% of them are actually customary. Now, I don't know about this number, but most Zambians in Zambia marry through the customary route.
Bamunsha n'aba tuchita guide ba papa besu ba Joshua Banda, Dr. Joshua Banda PhD, that ifwe ba pente.
I don't want us to discuss. I don't want to discuss that. What I want to discuss is what currently obtains in Zambia. Mamona, before we go to any of the guidances from the churches, because those are important, our churches should be able to guide from their own doctrinal position. I'm just stating the fact. The fact is, in Zambia, most marriages in Zambia are actually customary marriages. And customary marriages have what is known as a presumption of polygamy. I don't know why this fact should be controversial. This is elementary. I don't know. Okay, somebody is saying that when did you carry out a research? Maybe Chanda Kazia, go ahead and carry out a research and come back with a percentage. But most of the marriages in Zambia are customary marriages. And in fact, even civil marriages in Zambia, most of them, you only have them after you've done the customary route. For example, what is the customary route? Mwatwale ensalamu, eloba mpingula mwadipira. Two things. Okufika na okulipira. Two things. That is what constitutes a customary marriage in Zambia. Okufika na okupingulwa. Bampingula mwadipira. That's what it is. Most of the civil marriages are contracted after we've done those two things, which means in Zambia currently, right now, we are a customary marriage country. Right? Now, teine, because abantu limubala bepa okwebati nine, teine yo. This is not me who is saying it. This is reality and factual. kuti mwaya okay mukayeipusha mukaimaira kusoweto market mukaambia kuipusha timwe mwaliupate mwatwaliupana okay what is your marriage under? Did you go to civic center or was it customary? It's customary. Now here is another thing. Even some of the marriages that we call church marriages, they will actually fall under customary. The reason is a marriage does not become civil just because a pastor has prayed for you. No. A marriage becomes a civil if it complies with Cap 50 of the laws of Zambia. And most religious people, like never reverend, never bishop, as a reverend, I am a gazetted solemnizer of marriages. What it means is that I solemnize marriages. So I am actually a representative of the government to use my religious rights to solemnize a marriage. Now, if I go to bless a marriage, and yet I have not followed the procedure of Cap 50 of the marriages of Zambia, then that is a traditional marriage if those people have done what? Now, it appears like we don't have much thought. We don't take much thought on these things that have to do with marriages, and I don't know why. Katwish, we take so many things for granted. We do not look at anything critically, and this is pretty bad. So Wakanika, are you married?
Munshya. Shishivenga njasuke nangu ndore leko.
So okay, now I'm gonna answer. So the thing is, people are getting all worked up and confused over something that is very basic and reality. So here you have it. Most marriages in Zambia are customary marriages, one. Secondly, many people who get married in Zambia, they are not told actually of the two categories of marriages in Zambia. We only take it seriously when kuli trouble, ngafia pena. If you po ngafia mukupwa. I don't know, but we are serious at what is the are we actually married after. Sometimes if we are following the current trending case in the courts of law, yakwabati umuntu wafwa ero nomba bana bayamukuchita apply for letters of administration and court yabapera ero nomba bakashi baya nomba ku court mukuchita proof kwabati truly they were married but not produce marriage certificate from the church, because we don't take it seriously. That's why that my suggestion would be every church, in addition ukufunda if abantu bafuna kwikala muchupo bafuna ukufunda the people that are getting married about the two different categories of marriage in Zambia, so that abene basala. Nokubalondorera Cap 50 of the laws of Zambia, what it says, and the procedure involved in Cap 50. Bans of marriage. So kwa coach to publish bans of marriage ahead of time. Mwalembesha na civic center tukabe chupo. Elo nomba mchurch bachta announce bans of marriage. Elo nomba iwe as a person who is gazetted. Remember, you must be gazetted to be a marriage officer. Elo nomba waya chita conduct a ceremony in a gazetted place. So tekuye fiat moya mukufio kulikonse. Even the venue where the marriage is taking place must be gazetted. It's there. And you must verify that the one who is witnessing the marriage is not drunk. They must not be drunk. And so after they sign, after they exchange their vows, you solemnize the marriage, and then you make the declaration that they are now husband and wife. Then they sign the certificate. Then you, as the marriage officer, you are now supposed to turn in your certificate. The marriage certificates that we have as solemnizers of marriages, as solemnizers of civil marriages, is actually government property. You take it back to civic center so that they keep a permanent record of who was married and who was not. That is the civil marriage. Now, we know that our churches are interested in this, particularly the Roman Catholic Church. So, Nomba churches pay their own certificates. So the big debate is, when the Catholic Church gives you a certificate of marriage, is it under customary law or is it under civil law? If the priest was not solemnizing your marriage under the civic center, what marriage is it going to be? It is traditional. It is customary.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
no,
that is a very huge topic. Okay, so now after we settle that, the next thing that niwana nibambi ama-comments ayo aneni bane landeni ama-comments tumfwe eimwe bakanika landeni po tumfwe.
Yeah, ama-comments balera ndabe kwena oyoba Elisha Charles Grass alepunda ati I paid Lobola and it was traditional, then we went to church. So he's saying that it's now.
Yes. So the question is, when they went to church, bali for a blessing, nango bali ya church to actually contract a civil marriage, because that's very important to know. So the fact that Moafek church does not make that marriage civil. Because for a marriage to be a civil marriage under Cap 50, it has to follow certain procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so those are some of the things. Now, when I say that most marriages in Zambia are traditional and customary marriages, and they have a presumption of polygamy, I'm not saying that's a completely different question. That's a completely different question as a customary marriage. The other thing is a customary marriage a Christian marriage? Sorry. So can a civil marriage be conducted at a civic center? No. Even us, if we're reverends, are gazetted to solemnize marriages, we do it on behalf of the civic center. So kwaliba civic center mwaya upana under a civic center marriage officer. If you go to church and mwaya upana with a gazetted marriage solemnizer of a particular church, that marriage is a civil marriage. Because certificates to sign na kuliya civic center ni certificate imoine, which is a marriage certificate. And ama records ya civic center via yengisha register, vice the register.
Mm-hmm.
So it does not mean that it has to be at the civic center. No, the civic center is mostly done. Ukuyap Civic Center is mostly done by those that might not go to a church to have the marriage solemnized. Anyway, so those are the two categories of marriages in Zambia. If you don't fall under either of these, now, of course, there are some Supreme Court precedents. If it's a church, church, they might consider it as under Cap 50. They might, but other than that, elo takwa bati mwaikala no muntu for a particular time nishmwa upana. In Zambia, there is nothing like that. Zambia does not have common law marriages. So whether mwaikala 10 or 20 or 30 years, nabana mwafiala, umuntu ngachakutira tamwasa inana mkwechi paper cha civic center, you're not married. 1. 2. Umuntu ngachakutira tabafika tabaleta ensalamu nokupingula baba pingula balipira techupo iyo. It's known as cohabitation. And in Zambia, there is no common law marriage. We are trying to fight. Inepano personally, I am trying to fight to a recognition of common law marriages. Muzambia tamwa. Imagine. Waikala no mundu no kufiala abana mwafiala nechuma mwapangira pamo. Ngachakutira oyo mundu taafika ukuleta ensalamu techupo. It's pretty sad. Anyway. But if you what advantages a civil marriage has over customary marriage? Advantage. There is nothing like advantage or disadvantage. And this is one of the things that we need to deal with. Because this understanding of civil marriage is more advanced than customary marriage. No, there is nothing like that. Or civil marriage is more Christian than customary marriage. No. Even customary marriage can be Christian.
Bamuncha, there's a I think every fire can abantu batontonkanya ati when you have a marriage certificate from the civic center, once your husband dies, then it's yours going to partake the properties and all that. Then someone who doesn't have a what marriage certificate from the civic center, maybe I think that's the reason this gentleman I think he's trying to find out.
Yeah.
Once the husband dies, there is property to share. Whom are they going to consider by the court to be the wife?
First of all, we need to put a thing here. If you want specific legal advice, don't come to TVBAKWETU for specific legal advice. Go and pay money to a lawyer in Zambia. I'm not a lawyer in Zambia. I'm a lawyer. So he advice ndemi baba ndemi panda kofia mano. So they kuya rely upon it at yom kwa imushala ndirevi. No. For you to receive specific legal advice of London a lawyer, akwipshama questions, you actually understand we know lawyer aba insured, lawyer or license. You have a Law Association of Zambia. Inesha kwata Law Association of Zambia license. Chokanshi. For very specific information about your situation, go and pay a Zambian lawyer. They are broke. They need you to Okay. Now, having said that, the question is about inheritance. Inheritance is governed by two statutes. In the statute yalanda ifichitika ngachakutira omuntu asha what is known as a will. A will is known as a testament. So it's known as a tested thing. Testament. Number. So muntu ngafwa na asha will, it's known as a tested. Number umuntu ngafwa okwabula okusha will, it's known as intested. So tested and intested. Tested asha will. Intested dashide will. And all these succession rules are governed by legislation. So, tested death, umuntu wafwa, asha will. You're going to follow what the will says. Okay? And the law has its own rules about how the will must be, how we should write it, how it should be written, what it should contain, what it shouldn't contain, and how to interpret the will. Tested. Intested, meaning umuntu wafwa, dashide will. There is a particular act. I think in Zambia it is known as the Intested Act, Intested and Succession Act, or something like that. Okay, I'm not very good at the actual name of the act. Anyway, so that act is the one that guides now umuntu ngafwa okwabula okusha will ichuma bakachaka nyashani. That is what now the law tries to cover. These two acts have got nothing to do with how you are married or you are not married. It has nothing to do with that. So it does not mean that in civic center an issue of better ways of dealing with property after death. No, because property after death is dealt with by the tested or the intested procedures that are existing in Zambia right now. Has got nothing to do with how your marriage is or how your marriage was contracted. The reason why we have two categories of marriages in Zambia is because of Abasungu. Abasungu, barisa letako a civil marriage. Akale before quite civil marriage in Zambia, bantu bale upana using customary marriages. So Abasungu, we saleta konomba civil marriage. Muifunde. That is the only thing. Nomba yali civil marriages yali na church yaingira munomba ero chinomba chamoneka kwana kalimo ama civil marriages ni sheya kwalesa ero ama customary marriages yakwa satana. No, both customary marriages and civil marriages yakwalesa. The idea that one marriage is more Christian than the other is not biblical. It's not in the Bible. In Zambia, there is no one marriage that is more biblical than the other. Even if you married under customary law, chopo chakwaleza. Munshya, you have lost people's attention and confidence due to your entanglement. I don't know what this guy is talking about. Which entanglement?
I think we need him to explain it more. Since he has not explained anything, we can't answer anything about Munshya. We don't know what entanglement is. So let him explain what the entanglement is all about. You see? We don't know what your entanglement is.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a little briefly about it. And today we've just dealt with the two marriages and stuff like that. But the next issue that we look at is the Zambia Law Development Commission's recommendation about bigamy. And it's completely misunderstood. Number one, the proposals that are coming from the Zambia Law Development Commission has got nothing to do with the UPND government. This study was commissioned by, I think, Avena George Kunda, Akale, under Mwanawasa, under MMD. The Zambia Law Development Commission is to help us redefine and develop law. So ekabungako muyako to task it to say, we need reform of this law. Go and study it. Take your time. Nivakalapash. It has lawyers, it has legal experts, it has sociologists, it has historians. They consult the law, they consult the culture so that they come up with ways and means of improving on our laws. So they commissioned this study to study about bigamy and polygamy. After years, maybe a decade of studying, that's the issue, a report. And one of the recommendations in that report is to decriminalize bigamy. Nomba popena po abantu epo nomba bamba kokulachita mwana kalimo katuishefu baliranda. But let us just be fair. So this has nothing to do with the UPND. This has everything to do with the development of Zambian law. How does Zambian law move on from here? Wakanika, yapanga sense.
If you know, I don't understand if you have because if you are very rondolola, awe na if na dirubira kwa if tawe ni polygamy, awe if tuenda tawe yo polygamy ilifia because twalikwatako ba Dr. Kayungo ko bali tushita encourage very bad together na banguzu. So
no, but you see, some people that are debating this issue, they're debating as if Zambia is not a polygamous country. The reality is most marriages in Zambia are potentially polygamous. Why? Because they are contracted under customary law, and customary law have a presumption of polygamy. Few marriages in Zambia are actually under the Civil Act, under Cap 50. And under Cap 50, you can't marry a second wife. But under customary law, it is potentially polygamous because it has a presumption of polygamy. So I don't know where people are getting worked up, making it sound as if number polygamy yalaba introduced in Zambia. This has nothing. This debate is not going to make you want to marry more wives. No. This is not the issue. Zambia is already a polygamous country. This Christian nation of yours, it's a polygamous nation. I don't know why people get get worked up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed, he's lost us by that disclaimer he just made and referring us to the Zambian lawyers. Yeah, how Monday. This is just a professional way of letting me not provide legal advice over Facebook. Mfuire navikapo ka disclaimer. Bantu, your specific situation could be different. Ero nomba mwaya achitashana ati Munshya walandire. Uyo mulandu. So, kuvikapo disclaimer, it's an ethical and professional obligation. Atifinderanda ndemipanda kofia mano. But if you require legal advice, go and speak to a Zambian lawyer or mwalaikala nangwe panshi omfwe your situation exactly. Chimona aba bakanika aba nga bareranda pamuti bakanika kuti mwachita prescribe omuti over Facebook
Takwava Munshya. Ero
nde omfomu mala and nde omfu ifintu na fitumba. You can't,
Munshya, effort bomba nifyo fine, you can't. And this is what some people actually comes to my inbox trying to ask me all the issues about their personal drugs, what drugs have been prescribed by them. All of them I refer them to say, you have a pharmacist nearby, you visit them and talk to them, because my bakafunya fida fine achawe moneni bakaniko kubanjere.
So yeah. If a for professionals, forever mulomo, forever Facebook, we face this little problem. If you never been bakanika, kutuba mulondo in general terms about imiti fishwomba, umutu waku bomfenga namulwala malaria, umutu waku nwanga namulwala kaswende, umutu waku nwanga mwalwala bola bola. Kutuba landa. Nomba iyo te prescription iyo bafuire babika koko batika biyomo ne doctor. Ba na lalo fianya bakanika. Not vakanika tabafo yokulanda kabiri mkumu na doctor. Wale ati go and see a healthcare professional.
However, Munshya, you have just very right. A prescriber, anyway, in Zambia, we have 3 prescribers, but in the general, we need to say go and see a doctor for that prescription, because as much as I may say you need to take this medication for that, I haven't put the dosage. So in that situation, you need to see your doctor so that they can put the dosage inside for each prescription.
But you can do a text prescription in an emergency. So sense because you can do an emergency text prescription. Anyway, that's why we add these disclaimers. The other thing is we want you to value legal services and professional services, and not take us as commentators on Facebook for the truth of the content of what we say. So the general information that we give is general. That require a Law Association of Zambia, you know, they can even prosecute us. Law Association of Zambia, okututuola kokote ati bongale pela legal advice ya free over Facebook. Efe tubikira kwa kaka disclaimer. Anyway, number area sheet yo pafyupo. Tuachiva pesa before we were distracted by Wakaniko.
I think to Achilanda Pariba ZLCD something Zambia Rigo something yeah.
Development Commission. Ebo bachita commission states suggest ama legal ukuchinja kwa mafunde ya mwana ukuchita understand ya mama funde. Elo baba pera kaka task. Number why bigamy? You may ask. Why should they deal with bigamy? No, but now for example. The reason why bigamy must be dealt with is because, first of all, the state. So bigamy is a crime. Now, what the suggestion is coming from the Zambia Law Development Commission is that it should still be illegal, but be dealt with under what is known as civil category instead of criminal category. Crimes
Vam-
are things that
I think in a while sana kunokutina ava mu background ero ndekonga nemachiwawe yakulandira mu something or diplomacy beta.
Okay, it's okay. Kabir, Vakanika, in background. So I want to see. Imoshua, Mwevantu. We are not saying that there are no exceptions to the general rule, but the general rule is that you need to be seen by a physician. Certainly, we can't be prescribing on Facebook or giving reliable professional advice over Facebook. Sorry, we can't do that. Anyway, that's it. That's it on marriage. We have 5 more minutes, and so I want to see. Does the government recognize marriage certificates issued by the church? What does that mean? What is the question exactly? Does the government, which government? Because government recognizes 2 categories of marriages: the civil marriage under Cap 50 and the customary marriage. So if you take a certificate of marriage from a church, why wouldn't the government fail to recognize it? Because it could fall under either. Yeah. Yeah. That is it. So when it comes to bigamy, that is what happened. It's not like it's not like suddenly people are going to marry 2 wives. That is not what it means. For goodness sake, I think we need to be very fair to ourselves. These reforms are not saying that suddenly Zambian men are going to take on 2 wives. That is not what it is saying. All it is saying is that bigamy is still going to be illegal, but it is going to cease to be a crime. So decriminalizing something does not make it legal. The fact that something is decriminalized does not make it legal. So decriminalization simply means that the state is not going to be involved in prosecuting people that are guilty of bigamy. They take it as a civil case, just like divorce is civil. The state is not involved in divorce or in adultery. Alleged obuchende. Elo number the state gets involved in as a crime. No. It's still wrong, it's still bad, it's still illegal, but it's not a crime. That is all it means. Now, why shouldn't the state be involved? It is because there is a lot of ambiguity right now. If I told you that under Cap 50, okay, so let's assume that a couple decides to divorce. Now, this has nothing to do with me whatsoever or what I'm saying, but it has everything to do with just facts. Factually, a couple decides to divorce. Remember, they cannot move on with their lives until a high court issues what is known as a decree absolute. So before the high court issues actually a decree absolute, you are married to your spouse. Under Cap 50, you can't. You are not divorced. You can't move on. So even after years and years and years and years, if you don't have a decree absolute, you are still married under the civil, under Cap 50 of the Marriage Act. You're married. So let's assume so many people that have moved on via Kudadimbi, via Mukupa. It's illegal. The only question is it going to be a crime? That is what this new thing being proposed. Is it going to be a crime? That's the only issue. Yeah. That's the only issue. Regarding women, I do think that the current rules about bigamy, the current rules about polygamy or anything like that, they actually disadvantage women. That's why we need to pay attention to our marriage laws, honestly. Because from a feminist perspective, most of our current marriage laws are actually very uh, uh, very patrilineal leaning. They're very patriarchal. I must say, very patriarchal. So if we want them to be reformed, then we need to do some common sense approaches towards reform. These changes do not threaten the church or the moral fiber of the country, as some people are putting it, because morally Zambia is a polygamous country, and most marriages in Zambia are potentially polygamous. That is a fact. It's not me who is trying to create it. The fact that you did not know is not my problem. Otherwise, I'm giving you just facts. And some of you that think that you were married under the Act, if we follow the procedure under the Marriage Act, you are not. Also, you got married under the Act. Because the chuponga that still follow procedure under the Marriage Act. Of course, you can ask for a High Court judge to regularize it and recognize it as falling under Cap 50. Regularize. No. For example, Moyasa in a certificate and churches are doing that. Malesa in Shama certificates churches. And they are having people sign those marriage certificates in ungazetted places. When the strict legal question is asked, was this marriage valid? You can as well challenge it. The one who solemnizes the marriage solemnizes it outside hours, 22 hours. The witness was drunk, and it was done at a lodge that is not gazetted to solemnize the marriage. So what happens then? About what this all means. But if you have any questions about these specific questions, if go and speak to a lawyer, then the lawyer can help you out. Maybe they can give you advice that is very different from what I'm saying here. That's why you have lawyers, right? But my duty is to try and simplify things and educate our people so that they know about some of these things. So what does the Bible actually teach about marriage? Does the Bible say that customary marriages are evil? No. Customary marriages, if you put customary marriages, chupo chakwalesa. And anyone to insinuate about customary marriages, they are it's a serious insult. Very, very serious. I wouldn't even tolerate it at all. Anyway, nama cheche zaingi tari yarepa nama customary marriages. Waya wafika walipira insalamu bakupingula walipira. That becomes a marriage. Anyway, Waila, this is almost midnight. Good night. God bless you and God bless our country. We'll be back again. This has been a presentation of TVBAKWETU. Dr. Elias Munshya here. Thank you.